Good morning everyone, and welcome to Wake Up Wild at Peak Wildlife Park. So this morning we are going to be taking our little alpacas for a walk. So we've got two female alpacas, so we're going to be taking them on a little tour around the park. At the moment I'm just waiting for the guys to come up. You might just see them in the distance. There you go. So they're walking their way up very slowly. So I'll just say who we're joined by this morning. So we've got Laura Simpson, Ian, we've got Lee, we've got a few people watching. So if you've got any questions about these guys on the way round, we are going to be telling you a little bit about them. But if you do have any questions about any animals we've got here, please just pop it in the comments below and we will try the best to answer them for you. So I'm going to spin the camera around now as the alpacas come up. So we're joined by Liz and Joe this morning as well, guys. So we've got Caroline and Jennifer as well, so I'm going to head behind.
Hi. So we've got our two alpacas. So we've got Albebe, who's the white one, and we've got Chicorizo, who's the brown one. So we do like to take them on walks as often as we can. So I thought you guys might want to join in and take them on a walk. So we might do a few little stops depending on what the girls feel like. We have got some of our food with us. We've got alpaca mix, which is not made from alpacas. It is it's food designed especially for alpacas, and got a bit of grass pellet in there as well, which is just condensed grass. Albebe quite likes to look at the animals as we walk around, so we might have to just take a few moments at each animal so Albebe can have a look. But we'll tell you a bit about them as we go, and then like Lou said, if you've got any questions, just give us a shout and we'll try our best to answer them. Go this way, girls. Come on. Yeah, they're a bit slow in the morning.
Nice morning, gentle stroll. Some little encouragement from her sister there. So joined by a few more people now. We've got Tammy, Sinead, Chelsea, Kathy, Libby, Catherine. We've got quite a few people joining us this morning. Hi to Amanda and Monty. Hi to Eleanor. Hi to Archie and Isla. Remember guys, if you've got any questions, just pop it in the comments below. Doesn't have to be about the alpacas, we'll try our best to answer any.
Now, there is no such thing as a wild alpaca. They are a completely domesticated species. So they have a wild ancestor out in South America called the vacuna, and they are part of the camelid family. So a lot of people do get alpacas and llamas confused, and then it's completely understandable because alpacas and llamas both belong to the camelid family, so they are very similar. There are a few key differences between alpacas and llamas. So llamas are a bit bigger than alpacas, and alpacas are a bit more rounded than llamas are. So Bebe's just spotted some of the wallabies. Oh, and some of the grass. Who's there? Do you see him? And then alpacas also have these kind of straight ears, whereas llamas have more sausage-shaped ears as well. So it's just a few differences, but it's understandable why people do get them mixed up. But these are alpacas. So alpacas and llamas were domesticated for different reasons. So alpacas were domesticated so that we can use their wool. So it's very fibrous. So we like to use them to make clothes, rugs, quilts, stuff like that. Whereas llamas domesticated more to protect livestock, so it's kind of guard animals really.
So I've got a few questions coming in. So let me just see where the first one's gone. So Archie would love to know how old they both are.
So these girls are 2.5 now. So the average lifespan for alpaca is around 20 years old. So these girls are fully grown now, so they won't get any bigger. They are quite small, alpacas are anyway. So yeah, 2.5. Can you come in?
And Gareth's asking, why do they have less fur on their neck?
We do shear our alpacas, so in the summer when we get really warm weather, we do have to shear them to make sure they stay nice and cool. Because they do have such a thick coat, they can get overheated in summer. Now when we sheared them this year, we decided to give them a bit more of a fancy haircut, and we sheared from about there down, and we kept the longer fur on their head. So when they first were sheared, they did look very funny, but that's why it's a bit shorter down here. It's just where the rest of the coat needs to grow a bit more. You see the wallabies?
So we've got Noah asking as well what their names are. I know we said this at the beginning, but there might have been a few people joining late.
We've got Alpacas, who is this white one here, and Chikorito, who is the brown one. So if you do have a favourite, feel free to comment. We'll see if we have a little vote going. Oh, this is Spotty Zara. Who's that? So the zebra are just waking up now as well. They're coming to sing who's out. Who's that, Bebs? So as you can see, Bebe absolutely loves watching all the other animals. Chikorito's not so fussed, but Bebe would just stand here for ages just having a look. So we've got our 3 mainless zebras. So we've got Zara, Kayla and Horace, who have come to have a look.
Fascinated.
This is another reason we really like taking the girls out for a walk. It's super enriching for them, especially Bebe. It gives her a chance to stretch her legs, and she can come and look at all the other animals. So it keeps her nice and stimulated. Should we carry on? We're going to see some more animals. Come on then, good girl.
No,
So
not
we've got a
fast.
few of these out and about as well. Did you want to look at any of them? Where'd you going?
It's got another question asking what do they eat?
Their main diet is grass, so they pretty much graze on the grass for most of the day. So you might have seen them in our penguin enclosure. We've got a big grass enclosure that they like to graze on. We do feed them, as I said at the start, we've got alpaca mix, which is a food specifically designed for alpacas, and grass pellet as well. It's just a bit of an extra feed for them. It's just to make sure they get the right minerals and vitamins that they need. So we feed that twice a day. They get a veg feed as well, so they love their root veg, so like carrots, parsnips, sweet potatoes, their favourite. And then they also get hay as well, so they get quite a variety of things, but their main diet is just the grass. Oh, you're seeing the Cameroon rams. Hey. Are you coming?
As you can tell, Chicory is a bit shyer than our Bebe, hanging around at the back.
Oh, the boys aren't too cute. So we've got our Cameroon rams in this enclosure. So we've got Bobby on the left and Kimber on the right. So you might have seen our Cameroon sheep in our African village walkthrough. For obvious reasons, we do have to keep the males and females separate. So that's why the boys are in here. But they are very sweet characters. And Bebe is a fan. Chikorito's not so much of a fan. The boys are like, nah, let's go back to bed. Not interesting. You're not bringing me my food, so. Should we carry on?
We have a very good question from Maisie. I definitely don't know the answer to this, you might know. So she is Maisie from 6, and she'd like to know if they can swim.
Now, they're not really designed to swim, so their wool is very thick and it does retain water. So they're not meant to. However, Albebe has been known to go into the penguin pool on numerous occasions to have a little dip in there. So we have had to kind of towel her down and get all that water out of her wool to keep her nice and warm. But yeah, they're not really meant to swim, but Bebe doesn't really follow the rules and just does what she wants. So yeah, she likes to take a dip in the penguin pool. She's a very big character here. I think a lot of the people, the alpacas are the favourite. Oh, the piggies are up. Who's that? We're just passing our Cooney pigs now, so Potter and Oatcake, who again just woke up.
I love how fascinated she is. Chikorito's not too fussed.
Yeah, she's just like, can I go back to bed? You carry on? You done? Yeah?
Hello to Eliza in Cambridge. Hello to Amy, Emma, Andy, Angie. We've got a question from Laura as well. So where are they from?
So they are from South America. So they were domesticated by humans. So they have wild ancestors that do live still wild in South America. But that is where they originate from. But now you'll find them all over the world. So you'll find them pretty much everywhere. They are very widespread now. But as I said, they are domestic. So there's no such thing as a wild alpaca. They are a domestic species, so they do rely on humans for all their needs, really. So as I said, we do shear them, so they do need shearing every year. We do things like clip the toenails as well, and obviously they need to be provided with lots of grass for them to eat. But yeah, South America. That's the goats. No one over there. Oh, you spotted the pigs again. Come on.
So we've got Eliza asking who's the cheekiest out of these pair.
Yeah, she's the funniest animal I've ever worked with. She is absolutely hilarious. She's always up to something.
Another one of her favourite tricks, I think, as well, hearing from the keepers, is if she really doesn't want to do something, she will just lie on the ground. She will just not move.
Or she'll like roll over. It's like, no, I'm not going anywhere. So we do like to take them on walks as much as we can, but if the girls don't want to go on a walk, if they're not really feeling it, then that's fine. We won't make them go on a walk if they don't want to. It's completely up to them. So it did take quite a while when we first got our girls to train them to do this, so we didn't just go into the enclosure and stick a halter on them and start walking them. We did have to get them used to their halter, so alpacas are prey animals, so they are naturally... Having a quick look at the goats.
Who's in there? Hi.
That's a window. So they are naturally very skittish, so new things is quite unnerving for them. So we did have to get them used to it in slow little stages, so bringing it in for them and then gradually putting it around the muzzle and then being able to tie it and then clipping a lead on and getting them used to being led, essentially, going around the floor. So it did take a while, but alpacas are generally really easy to train. So the girls are absolutely fab at this now. And as I said, if they don't fancy it, they don't have to go for a walk, but most of the time they really enjoy it, especially Bebs.
Oh.
So Bebe does love the meerkat. Who's that?
Again, Chikorito not too interested. Oh, she's having a look now.
Oh. They're like talking like, oh, one of them.
I want to say a massive hello as well while we're here to Lila Rose. She'd love to say hi. And she's going to be doing an experience for Christmas, so we can't wait to see you.
Is that it, Bebs? You haven't seen the meerkat.
Got a few more questions while we're here as well, guys. So Eliza asking again, do they play with toys?
So them. So we'll put puzzle feeders, so different ways of hiding their food in like a puzzle feeder. Nice close up there.
No one can see you.
But to be completely honest, the enrichment that we've tried with the girls, they're not usually too interested in. So I think the main source of enrichment for these guys is their walks, and that's what they seem to enjoy the most. If we put things in their enclosure for them to play with, they don't seem too bothered. They're more interested in just wandering around, eating the grass and just watching the penguins and the Mara. You're transfixed, Bebs.
So we've got another question as well. What's the difference between alpacas and llamas from Maisie?
So they are part of the same animal family. So alpacas and llamas are from the camelid family. But llamas tend to be a little bit bigger. Alpacas also a bit more rounded, so the face is a bit more round and the body's a bit more round, whereas llamas, they've got quite a long muzzle and they've got quite a kind of stocky body. And llamas have kind of sausage shaped ears that are a bit bigger than the girls, whereas these girls, they have kind of like straight ears, a bit different than llamas. But yeah, they are very similar animals, but they were bred for different reasons. That's why they look a little bit different.
You're helping me out this morning.
Yeah. So if
Loving
you have
the
a look
camera.
at their mouths as well, guys, see if I feed Beb, see if you can see. They actually have prehensile lips, so their top lips actually split in the middle. I don't know if you can see that, but that helps them to grab onto food, so like grass and leaves and branches, and they don't actually have teeth on their upper gum. They've got teeth on their bottom. They've got a row of teeth on the bottom of their gums, but none on the top.
Too cute.
You done? Beb, stop stealing it all.
I think she'd take my phone if I let her.
Oh, you're at Jackson's now. You're just reading up about Jack. Come on, now we've noticed that the girls don't particularly like Jack the tortoise, so he is still in bed at the moment. But I think they're quite unsure about him because obviously from their point of view, he is just a moving rock. So they can't quite work him out, so they'll be having a look in his enclosure to see where he is. But I don't think he's quite worked it out yet.
So Katie asking if we can say a huge hello to Edward and Frank from the alpacas.
Hope you had a brilliant Friday. Come on, girl.
Got Eliza asking if they can spit like camels.
So they can spit. Now, when they spit, it's usually directed to other alpacas, and it's only when they're agitated or kind of frightened, something like that. I feel a bit threatened. So although they can spit, it's very rare that they spit at people. So I don't know about the other keepers, but I've not known these girls to spit. It's also not really good for them to be spitting a lot, so it can cause mouth problems if they spit too much, because they're bringing that stomach acid into the mouth. But yeah, so they do have the potential to spit, but yeah, usually at other alpacas and not at humans. So if you do visit us and you see these girls about, please don't be scared of them. They are not going to spit at you, I promise. This way.
Got another question from Linda as well. So are they affectionate?
I think they have to be in the right mood. So sometimes they absolutely love having a fuss, and they particularly like having a brush as well. But it does depend on what mood they're in. So as we mentioned, Bebe can be quite stubborn. So if she's not in the mood for us to be around, then she will just let us know. But yeah, they can be very affectionate. As I mentioned before, they are prey animals, so they are naturally a bit more nervous. So we've recently got to the stage where we can give them a bit of a fuss, a bit of a stroke. But that did take us a while. When we first had the girls, we couldn't stroke them, they were too nervous of that. But now, Bebe in particular likes quite a good fuss. Yeah. But yeah, I think they are affectionate, but I think, again, it just depends what they're feeling like on the day. So we're just coming up to our nature walk now, which which is home to our family of super deer. Now they're all pretty close, so we shall go have a look. If you come over here, Beth, you'll see them a bit better. Come on.
Can't figure it out. Looks a bit similar to me, but not quite the same.
Okay. There we go. This is one of our young stags. This is Bertie, who she's saying hello to. And we've also got Simon coming over as well, another one of our stags. And booping noses. Yeah, Chip's
Yeah.
not too sure. Who's that? Oh, did that make you jump? It's just his antlers. Hi, Simon. No, you done? She's like, no.
I've had enough now.
Come on then.
So we hope you guys are all getting on okay in lockdown as well. If there is any animals that you are missing the most or you'd like to see in our next live video, please pop that in the comments below as well, and we'll try our best to accommodate everyone. It's definitely woke me up this morning, this has.
It is something us keepers absolutely love doing. It's taking the animals for a walk, so you might have seen that we take our cooney pigs for a walk as well, and our black nose sheep. But it's really nice for us to get the animals out and about, and get you guys a bit closer to them as well, and the animals love it.
So Laura's asking, do we have rabbits? Yes, we do. We have some giant Flemish rabbits and also some continental rabbits. We did a live on those the other day, but if you would like to see them again, then please just let us know. If you do want to take a look at our other live videos, then please do go on our Facebook page and take a look through them as well.
There's an owl actually. Not a real owl, I'm afraid. Very relaxing, isn't it?
I know.
On a morning stroll. Really quiet.
The sound of the water, it's great. What is it? It's just some water.
Even though you've got a whole enclosure of grass. Yeah, Beth was like, where's the next animal?
We have to go and find some wild animals now.
You are really looking out for something. Come on. start heading back to their enclosure, and then we can let them off and they can go and do their things today.
So what else do you do with these guys on a day-to-day basis? What's sort of your daily routine with these guys?
So we obviously in the morning we go and check all our animals to make sure everyone's okay. So with these girls we usually give them their breakfast, and then we will let them out into their enclosure. So you might have seen that behind the penguin decking area there is a big mound, and that's kind of the girls' main home. And then during the day we like to give them access into the penguin enclosure with the Mara as well. So yeah, we'll give them the breakfast, let them out, and then we do try our best to fit a walk in each day for them. But to be fair, the alpacas, they do entertain themselves quite a lot of the time. So the penguin enclosure is next to our lemur enclosure, so these girls absolutely love watching the lemurs as well, so look out for that because it's pretty funny. And then we'll try a bit of enrichment with them as well. As I mentioned earlier, they're not always a big fan of enrichment, so if we put like puzzle feeders in, or we'll get browse and different kind of feeders, most of the time they don't show too much interest in it, but we're always trying new things, so if you guys can think of anything we can try with them, please let us know. And then yeah, it'll be kind of coming up to tea time, so again they'll get this food. We obviously give their beds a clean, give them fresh water, and then kind of leave them to it.
So we've got another question asking how often do we need to cut their hair?
So it's usually once a year that they get sheared. Say if we're having a particularly hot year, they can be sheared twice. We just have to get the timing right, obviously with the weather, so we don't want to shear them and then it becomes too cold for them. So it's usually once, kind of beginning of summer, and then we can grow back nice and thick for winter. But we do get a lot of wool out of them, so quite often we use their wool that we've got for enrichment for other animals. So our red squirrels in particular love using the alpaca wool for bedding, so we just put a load in there and the squirrels will take it into their little nest boxes and use it for bedding. We've also put it in with our meerkats as well, so a lot of other smaller animals like to use it as bedding, but yeah, we do end up with a lot. They're actually really good when they get sheared as well, so Bebs will just lie down and let you shear her, and she'll just be like, wake me up when you're done. Very relaxed. Should we carry on?
Hi. Just wanted to say a little hello to everyone.
You're all still there.
So we've got Sadie asking for a son and names. So this white one here is Albebe, and the brown one is Chikorito. And these were actually named after, I think it's footballers.
Yeah, I think so. James, our park manager, came up with these names. So we actually had a vote. So we came up with a couple of options, and then we wrote it on a whiteboard in our staff room, and then we got all the staff to vote. So everyone got involved, and Albebe and Chikorito came on top. So I can't imagine them with any other names, so it does really suit them.
Yeah, I was going to say, you wouldn't think it would, but it definitely does suit these guys.
It's okay, but now it's like, it's perfect for them.
Oh, got a little scratch. As each other.
So they have a toilet spot which all alpacas will use. So when you do get a group of alpacas, they tend to all line up to use the same spot, which makes it really good for us keepers to clean them because it is just all in one area. Unfortunately for us, the area that they have chose is right on the path, so we do have to constantly go back and clean it up. But at least we don't have to kind of walk around the enclosure cleaning it. It's just all in one area. We are just going over a little bridge now. We might be a bit wary because there's a lot of running water underneath it.
So I think we got these guys as well when they were quite young, when they were about 9 months, I want to say.
Yeah, so we had them about a year and a half, maybe just over a year and a half now. So yeah, they were a lot smaller when we first had them, but they are now fully grown. And as I said, we did a lot of work with them, so the halter training, that started as soon as we had them pretty much, and got them used to kind of people and keepers being around. But yeah, they've had a massive impact on the park. I think they are two of the most characteristic animals here. They're so much fun to work with. Oh, they're definitely a favourite of most of the keepers as well. There's no one in there, I'm afraid. No.
Every enclosure, she has to check.
Make sure. Oh, there's a scratch. So it's not very often that you hear them vocalise, but they do make kind of a humming noise almost. So when Bebs is getting a brush or a stroke, she sometimes makes a bit of a humming noise to say, oh yeah, carry on with that. So yeah, listen out if you're ever kind of near our alpacas. They do make a very, very cute noise. But they are quite quiet animals most of the time. Look where we are.
Nearly back home.
We're not too sure about the we'll unhalter them, we'll take the halters off, and then we're just going to let them roam around here. They can just do their own thing, and then we can go and clean the beds, refresh the water. Chick's like, get it off. Right, I'm done now. You've got too much wool. I know, you've got so much hair.
Chick's coming to help.
There you go. Because I've still got the food bucket. And say bye. So you can see as well, they've got massive eyes. So as I mentioned before, they are prey animals. So they are constantly kind of on the lookout for any predators. So they have massive eyes, they've got great eyesight, and they've got really good hearing as well. So their ears, you can see them moving about. And you can often tell what kind of mood they're in as well by looking at their ears. So if their ears are kind of pointed forward, a bit like chicks are now, it usually means they are in a good mood. If you see their ears go right back, kind of against the back of their head, then it usually means they're in a bit of a grump. They're not too happy about something, but they're very expressive.
Amazing. Thanks very much for joining us, everyone. We will be, I'm trying to think what day it is now. Friday, so we'll be back again on Monday at 8 o'clock. So as I said before, if you would like to see any animals in particular, please just let us know. Just comment on this post, and we will try our best to make sure everyone sees who they like. So thanks very much, and we shall see you soon.